Well, indeed, after the attack on the United States World Trade Center in 9/11, the NATO invoked Article 5, which is the collective defense mechanism, for the first time ever. And it was exceedingly important to the United States and to the American citizenry. It was, of course, the first time it was invoked, and Americans never expected it would be invoked for their benefit. But it was important, as I said. It gave us a feeling that we had solidarity. And immediately thereafter, actually, we had an annual meeting in Ottawa where it became quite clear how magnificent that support for America was in the face of this tragedy. The Speaker Hastert came with me to that meeting, and I succeeded then President Estrella the next term. So it can't be overestimated how important that really was as a step. The Assembly took immediate steps to begin studies in its committees and to take action. Shortly thereafter, of course, we had the effort to displace the Taliban from Afghanistan. And since that time, the Assembly has conducted about, I think it's 27 reports. Every year, at least one or two, most cases two, sometimes three different studies focus on Afghanistan. So that was a follow-up, and we knew that we would have NATO support for our actions in Afghanistan, all of which was triggered, of course, by the terrorist attack in New York City. NATO's response and support for the United States in our initiative in Afghanistan was very strong, very important to us. It was really the first time we had a major out-of-area operation by NATO. It was complex, it was extremely important. And as a result of that, the Assembly, with its steady efforts, sent a number of delegations to Afghanistan for this entire period of time. That enabled them, I think, to understand what was happening there, to give us their support. And I think it can't be said too much that the support and knowledge about NATO with the members of the Assembly and their individual national parliaments really has been a strength of the NATO operation in total. Without that kind of sustained support and knowledge within the individual parliaments or in the Congress of the United States, you wouldn't have the kind of support that's necessary for NATO to continue its operations. So this was an important milestone for NATO's involvement, and of course it led it to look more carefully at what its larger role might be outside of Europe. We in turn, I think, at the Assembly in the past, and I'm sure today, also provide a valuable indication about what the support or concerns are in the citizenry of our individual countries, which is important to the military establishment of NATO, and it is the basis of the continuing support for NATO. So I think also it's important for NATO Assembly to realize that the ongoing studies not only inform the membership, they are our opportunity to provide real input to the national leaders in our political and military dimensions.